Amiibo!
Well, I didn't even know about Gandakris until Amiibo were pretty crazy a couple years ago, and eventually her work started to appear through the feeds during the Amiibo craze. At first, I didn't do box arts for her yet. I actually came up to her and asked her if she wanted a logo design and some Twitter graphics. That's because that's what I mostly do outside. So after I did end up doing some of her branding, that's when I started doing some of the graphic work for her boxes. Even today, we still do that. It's funny because many have thought that I actually started doing some box arts with Ganda first, but she really wasn't the first one I did stuff for. It was actually brought up by Kick-Ash. She wanted a few custom box arts for her Star Wars Episode 7 figures, and I've never done them at that point, so I said, sure, why not? So after, doing a few of those, I started to branch out and talk to a few custom Amiibo artists, and eventually to Ganda, and from there, we've been doing quite a bit since then, but I still help out with others if need be. It's actually not a complicated setup. Once you have the template done for the front and the back of it, it's just a matter of just finding the right assets and plugging things in. So I know with Ganda, a lot of her stuff recently with these custom Amiibos are based on actual real people. So I'd have to find the actual photography that will work for the boxes. So that way when you look at it, you think, oh, okay, I know who that is, without having to really explain who that person is through just an Amiibo. But usually a lot of it has to not only you just can't just find a regular file just anywhere. You have to make sure that they're high res enough so then when you print them out, they're not so pixelated. And that's just one of the things that's sometimes it's easy to find, sometimes it's not. It all depends on how rare those assets can be found. Aside from assisting with box arts, I usually work with branding such as logos, business cards, letterheads, and other Twitter graphics and social media profile graphics. My main skills are creating designs and building out websites. You'll notice that some of my work, all these websites such as Nintendo Wire, Nid Mobile News, and even Super Meat Boy Forever. When I say Super Meat Boy Forever, I mean, yes, the actual Super Meat Boy site. And those were all fun sites to work with. Everyone was great to, I would collaborate with them to figure out what do they need, how do we get this to go from what was previously made to something better, and not only that though, but also make sure that we also had to make sure that we design and the functionality of even like tablets and mobile will work great with these sites. To this day and age, we all use our phones to do searches and websites and everything, so it's good to make sure that we cover our bases to make sure, we're on top of things on these sites. I actually do quite a few works currently, and rather enjoy them, but they also take up a lot of my time. So one of my projects I'm working on is called Cat with Monocle, where I review games, movies, shows, and interview people who are involved with them. It's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of work. So it's something that definitely requires more than one person to run it. I'm also helping out with a friend on designing and building a website called Collection Crossing, where you can log in, set up an account, you select all the, let's say for example, there's Amiibos that you've been collecting and you want to show it off, or you want to create a wish list, you can do that from here. But it's not just Amiibos. We're looking at Funko Pop collections, and even other types of figures, and maybe even cards too. So it's in the process. We're trying to get that done here pretty soon here, so then anybody can get on and start their account. But aside from those two, I've also been helping out with my wife's photography and photo booth business. It's now the January is the time of the month where photographers are needed, to get booked. So 'tis the season, and we've been trying to redesign and rebrand her, business cards, logo, and currently her website. And trying to get that all done by the end of the month is not an easy task, but it's one of those things where you kind of have to refresh your brand after so many few years, and it's fun at times, but at the same time, a lot of work. But a lot of times, a lot of the reason why I do a lot of these projects is to kind of push myself to become a better designer and push my skills even further on. That way, they don't become so rusty.
Hey, so if you liked that video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the Nintendo Power Couple YouTube channel, and follow us on social media.
And if you want to support our channel, be sure to check out our Patreon or grab yourself some NPC merch.
So remember guys, gaming is always better together, so until next time, thanks for watching!